Jason Easthope, Wing Commander, Eastie, aka. Some very special things happening here.
And the F-35 today flown by Squadron Leader Ross Bowman, operating from, as call sign, Maple 11 as a 2OCU tail, so it was flown from Williamtown. Would have taken about 15 minutes to get down here.
On a slow day.
On a slow day, max speed probably about 10.
Now this is very interesting formation because Bunga, Ross Bowman, as a flight lieutenant, undertook his first F-35 display here at Shellharbour. Today is his very last F-35 flight as a display pilot. So that's very special. Now Eastie as well in the Mustang. He is flying that as CO 100 Squadron. The same year that Bunga did his first flight here was the very last demonstration of an FA-18 Hornet in Australia. That was flown by the RAAF, and that was flown by Eastie. So a very special day for the two of them.
You can see the Mustang's probably at about mid-range power here, and the F-35 would be in the 25% range. If you look closely, you can see that Bunga's actually pulled the air brake out, which is just a flight control air brake, and the leading edge and trailing edges are dug in, which gives them a little bit more power authority at that low speed.
Now get your cameras ready, ladies and gentlemen. The aircraft are going to come back in and undertake a bomb burst in front of the crowd. So get those cameras ready. This isn't the end of the show by any way or means. Straight after the heritage flight, Bunga is going to go into his solo display routine, and I'll be handing over to Dan Armstrong, who is a current pilot with 3 Squadron on F-35s, and he'll be able to really run us through the manoeuvres that he's undertaking.
Thanks very much, Andy. It's about to get really loud with the F-35, so if you haven't put your earplugs in yet, I suggest you do. This aircraft's got 38,000 pounds of thrust at sea level, which is phenomenal.
Just enough to get you to the shops.
Just enough, and back.
Don't forget to get those earplugs in because that's quiet.
So we've had the F-35 since 2014 in RAF service. It's currently operated by number 2 operational conversion unit, and then the operational squadrons being 3, 75 and 77. We've got 64 out of 72 so far, so they're still rolling off the production line in Texas. And these are the newest, most lethal aircraft in RAF infantry.
Just think of it, ladies and gentlemen, from the Mustang through to the Vampire, the Meteor, the Sabre, the Mirage, the FA-18, and now this is our frontline fighter aircraft.
And you just think about what those aircraft could do in the World War II, the Mustangs, the Spitfires, rockets, bombs, unguided weapons, all the way to the F-35, which still has guns, but it's guided air-to-air missiles and precision-guided air-to-ground weapons. It is just a completely different beast and a completely different style of warfare, but it still requires tenacity, aggression, skill, hard work, and teamwork.
Dan, what is it like to actually fly the aircraft?
It's an absolute pleasure. It is a very smooth aircraft to fly. You've got more power than anything else you'll ever fly, ever. The aircraft absolutely hammers at low level, like we're about to see now. From the left is Squadron Leader Ross Bowman in the F-35A. for another pass. So the aircraft is capable of up to 9G, so 9 times the force of gravity. Top speed of 700 knots and Mach 1.6, so 1.6 times the speed of sound. Here you see it, maximum sustained turn, so Bunga has applied full afterburner, full backstick, and he's driven the aircraft around at 360 degrees for a maximum turn rate. You can see the ectoplasm coming off the top. He's getting absolutely everything he can out of this aircraft. Carries 18,000 pounds of fuel, and in a dogfighting mission you'll burn through all of that fuel in less than 40 minutes. It is quite efficient in the higher end of the range, so when you are flying at 30s or lows for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, if you're working hard doing something like this, you can burn all your fuel very quickly. That engine, being very powerful, is very thirsty. You can see the afterburner flame with nearly as long as the aircraft. The aircraft doesn't actually have a head-up display, so all the flying information is displayed on the helmet. There's some verticals. Everyone knows. So we talk a lot about 5th gen endo, and what makes this aircraft 5th gen is the mix of stealth, the mix of lethality, and the sharing and the fusion of information. So this aircraft never works alone when it's out there in the war zone. It's sharing with other aircraft, other F-35s, and all the data links, and you're working together to achieve the mission.
The one thing you forgot, the guy in the seat.
It is the guy in the seat. So luckily in the RWF we have world-class training, so to actually get to fly an F-35 you've got to have flown a leading fighter for 12 months already before coming onto the F-35 for a 6-month conversion course. You see Ross out to the right there just completing a pedal turn, so we do use the pedals.
Now this should be a configured pass.
Yeah, so the aircraft lands like any normal aircraft. It's actually quite nice in the circuit, so with the auto throttle. We've actually got a button you can press on the throttle which will fly you on speed, so you just fly one speed down to land.
Give him a wave, ladies and gentlemen. He's waving at us. So when you take off on the runway and max afterburn, it pushes you back in your seat, and you don't stop getting pushed back in your seat until you take it out of afterburn. This aircraft would easily accelerate to 700 knots on the deck. Fast pass, 600 knots, so only 100 knots off the top speed, 200 feet. Now the canopy up, great opportunity for photos. Listen to it roar. Some nice echo over the wings there, that creates its own cloud over the top of the wing. Yeah, you actually see that when you're dogfighting, you don't notice it because you're staring at the other aircraft, and then every now and then you'll look left and you'll see all this ectoplasm over the wing when you're flying high and upper. So this aircraft is capable of up to 50 degrees of controlled flight at 50 degrees angle of attack. Now we're going to have a look inside the weapon bay here. So the thing that makes the F-35 really stealthy is the fact that we carry all our fuel, all our weapons internal, so we don't have to add on anything to the outside of the aircraft, which will make it more visible to people who don't want to see.
at 120. You can also carry 2,000-pound GPS-guided bombs as well as laser-guided bombs.
Now the square loop, that is just thrust over gravity.
It is thrust over gravity, so when you take off, you weigh about 50,000 pounds, you burn down some fuel. You land at about 32,000 pounds, so you've got about 6,000 pounds of fuel there where you've got a greater than 1-to-1 thrust ratio. It is just awesome the speed you can get this thing up to.
Ross pulling straight down, pointing at the drivers, the reverse from team. You can see that leading edge. Now Dan, we've seen how fast it can go, 600 knots. We're about to see something a lot slower.
Yeah, guys, so we're going to see some of the high alpha capability of the jet. So when you're dogfighting, generally you'll start fast and you end up slow. So slow speed maneuverability is a really endearing quality of a good fighter jet. And the F-35 can fly quite slow. I think the slowest I've had is about 80 knots.
So what does high alpha actually mean?
You're going to see him come past and the nose is going to be really high. So you'd think he'd be going up, but he's actually going to be going horizontal across the ground. So it's the angle of the nose reference the relative airflow. And he's going to come past at about 33 degrees angle of attack. The aircraft, in other maneuvers you'll see today, will go all the way up to 50 degrees angle of attack. There's actually a little pinky switch on the throttle that you pull, on the control column that you pull, and that allows the aircraft an extra 15 degrees angle of attack up to 50 degrees.
That's incredible. And flying so slow, the computer is obviously thinking a lot here. Now get ready too, ladies and gentlemen, for a lot of noise.
Yeah, he's doing about 100 knots here, so if you're in your Cessna, you could maybe overtake him. Now just look at those horizontal stabilizers at the back, so you can see him moving around. All Ross is doing is applying full backstick and playing the throttle to hear that beautiful jet. Look at him working fully fly-by-wire. Boys and girls out there, if you're interested in flying the F-35, the Raptor's going to have these for a very long time. All you have to do is start trial tours like everyone else. In less than 2 years, you could be flying an F-35 from being a tourist base. Pull up into a loaded roll. So this is actually where you use the rudders, which helps get the nose of the aircraft around and being fly-by-wire. So when you apply right rudder, the right rudder doesn't actually move the aircraft. The computer thinks about what you have asked for, and then it works out what control surfaces to move to make that happen. So it's a very, very smart flight control system. And it can think a lot quicker than us, because if this aircraft was just a manual control like the Mustang, you wouldn't be able to fly it. You'd go out of control. It requires computers and a flight control system to fly. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the F-35. Hanging over the top here, full backstick, full to pinkies, 50 alpha. Now he's applying full left rudder for a pedal turn. So there's no thrust vector in this aircraft, it's all flight controls. If you do get in a position where you're slow with another aircraft, you can apply a pedal and actually point your nose at them and force them to react and force them to do something. Now, globally, there's nearly 1,000 F-35s in existence. Over the A, the B and the C model. So the A model is the one that we operate, the conventional takeoff and landing. The US Marines and the Italians and the British also operate the B model, which hovers, and then the C model is operated by the US Navy on their carriers. And we're seeing Bunga point straight at us here.
Get your cameras ready, ladies and gentlemen.
Positioning for the vertical departure. Squadron Leader Ross Bowman in the RAF F-35.
Look at his skill going. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together for Squadron Leader Bowman.